jump. Count to 5. Just pull the cord.
What's up, YouTube? It's another Saturday, which means it's another series in review. Today we're doing the video game series Uncharted.
PlayStation 3 is claim to fame as far as I'm concerned. Uncharted games did it for PlayStation 3.
They really did. Because, Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 all dropped for PS3.
Yeah, Naughty Dog did it right.
Naughty Dog did it right. The first Uncharted dropped in 2007. It was a release that coincided with the system, so it came out like the same time the system was released.
And it was the game that came out. Like, I played the crap out of it. The crap out of that game.
Yeah, and it was the real saving grace for the PS3 that helped push it past the 360 at the beginning, because the 360 dropped first, but then PS3 came out with Uncharted, and the 360 hadn't developed its red ring problem yet, and then everybody was like, no, Uncharted's the shit, and so everybody was buying PS3s specifically for Uncharted.
Uncharted, I love the fact that it was like playing a movie, like you're playing a movie through this, but the best thing about it was it didn't have like the bars on the bottom for your health and your items. None of that's on there. It's just the screen, just the game. I love that.
What I like too is that the programmers for the game have talked about why when Nathan Drake gets hit, that's the primary character, Nathan Drake, when he gets hit, he never like needs time to heal or anything. And what they said is that as the screen begins to turn red and stuff, that's Nathan Drake's luck running out.
Yeah. Which
means when he actually gets hit, when his luck has run out, that's the kill shot when you die. And I think that's a neat thing, because it's something that, like, in the Call of Duty games, they sort of went like wonky with it and hog wild with it. And I just like the fact that it references that they actually planned that as a concept, that it's just his luck running out, and it's a visual representation of his luck running out.
It's just so good. The game, I played that game through at least 6 or 7 times, all the way through, beginning to end, and it's very rare that I can find a game where you can do that.
Yeah, the game is really, really good, and it's cinematic in scope.
Yeah.
The way that everything sort of works out with it, more so even in Uncharted 2, but with the first Uncharted, it's very cinematic in the fact the script of the game. It, like, if you were able to be good enough and just play it right through, it would probably play like a 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
That you're in control of.
It's not overburdened by cutscenes and stuff. It's literally like a lot of games like that, you just get a cutscene after a cutscene after a cutscene. This one, like, you're playing through the cutscenes.
Yes.
And they utilize the 6-axis controller, which PS3 eventually just did away with doing that in games.
Much. Yep.
But I love that aspect of it.
It was pretty cool. I mean, it only uses it in a couple spots, but it's still pretty neat.
It's awesome. Like,
yeah.
I thought that was a great thing for PlayStation to put out, and then they just kind of were like, fuck it.
We also have to give a special shout out to the voice actor for Nathan Drake, Nolan North. He is phenomenal. He's a great voice actor. He did Deadpool in the Deadpool game. Nathan Drake.
I love the Deadpool game too.
He's done crap tons of animated shows. Nolan North is just a phenomenal voice actor, and you should look up his work and see what games he's in and stuff like that, so that you can actually get a chance to familiarize with him more so than just what his primary thing of Uncharted is. Because that's really what gave him his name, is Uncharted.
Well, Uncharted is phenomenal.
It is. I said the release date was 2007, right?
2007.
Yep.
Yeah, because I was just out of high school.
Yep. And then moving on to Uncharted 2. This is the one that I played.
I forgot to rate it.
Oh, rate it? We're talking about ratings?
We're doing ratings.
Do we have to do ratings?
I just decided right now that we were going to do ratings.
Okay. Are we doing the normal 10 scale?
Normal 10 scale.
I give Uncharted an 8.
I give Uncharted a 10. I love this game, and like I said, I just got out of high school for this game. So it was like I was living on my own, I had money to burn, I was working, I had a PlayStation 3, and I just played the fuck out of this game. And
it is a phenomenal game. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just don't rate it at a 10.
It's worthy of 10.
It's a good game.
It's a good game.
But now we can move on to Uncharted 2, which is the first one that I actually played. So I got used to the Uncharted 2 controls first, and when I went back to Uncharted 1, it felt clunky.
Well, I didn't start with Uncharted 2, and I hated Uncharted 2 when it first came out. In fact, I didn't beat Uncharted 2 until it came out with my PS4. When they did the HD version and that box set of the Nathan Drake collection or whatever, that's when I finally beat Uncharted 2, because originally I hated the controls on it. I hated it.
The reason I only give Uncharted an 8 is because of the jet ski.
I love the jet ski.
Yeah, it controls like shit.
I don't care. It's a better game than Uncharted 2.
Nah.
It really is. It's got a better story than Uncharted 2 as well.
Yeah, but Uncharted 2 is even more cinematic than Uncharted.
Well, duh, it's
even,
later.
Yeah, it's even more like a movie. I played... When Uncharted 2 dropped, I played it front to back and beat it in one night.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know about all that, but Uncharted 2...
yeah, Uncharted 2, it dropped in 2009, 2 years after the original.
Yeah, I remember when it came out. I just and I thought I was going to get into it, so I got it right away.
I love the hell out of it, because the controls were more streamlined in 2.
But the story wasn't as captivating to me. It just
I
wasn't.
love the story.
But compared to the
I love the Chloe character.
Well, I want Chloe.
The way Elena came back, I was completely okay with her. I like the fact that they were an item. They became an item in the first one. Then somewhere they broke up, and then they got back together.
Look at you being all like in depth and shit. Now, from the opening scene of Uncharted 2, like when you're like climbing up that mountain in the fucking train.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I love that. That hooked me.
It didn't. It did the opposite for me. I did not like the start of the game. It kicks off so abruptly that it's like, what the fuck is going on? And then the controls definitely changed from the first one to the second one. And
the thing is, that's weird, because it kicks off like it was directed by your favorite director, and that's why you don't like it.
It does not.
It does. It starts in the middle to the end, just like Quentin Tarantino does with almost all of his movies.
Quentin Tarantino tells his stories non-linearly. This one is a linear story. It just starts like, bam, there it is.
Yeah, that's very much what Tarantino does too. The first aspect of his movies is, bam, this is what's going on.
I don't know, maybe it's just different for video games. I did not get into it. Like I said, I didn't beat it until it came out in Nathan Drake Collection or whatever on PS4, and that's all I gotta say about it. Like, it's alright, but it wasn't anything special to me.
I give the game a 10.
I give the game a 7. It just doesn't hold the same place for me because you played it first. That's why you have it in higher esteem than I do. And like, I have the first one.
I love Uncharted 2. Like, I've played through it at least 10 times.
I've played through it all the way once.
But now we get to go to the meat and potatoes.
Oh yeah.
This is the one that the two of us played together.
Dude, the multiplayer on this game, holy fucking shit.
But Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception, dropped in 2011.
Hooked me immediately.
I love the game.
So much.
The multiplayer that they did, which for some reason they didn't release the multiplayer along with the collection for PS4.
Which sucks, because actually we were talking about it on the way to buy the collection for the PS4.
Yeah, because we bought the PS4 the same day, and we both bought the Nathan Drake Collection edition of the PS4. Because at that point we got 3 games that we knew we would like.
Yep. And we were super excited that we were going to be able to play online like we did on the PS3.
Yep. And guess what?
No multiplayer. Which is a hit that the HD version takes, but it shouldn't have been a surprise because it's like the servers, obviously. But
Yeah.
But either way, 3 was awesome. Like, the story is great.
It goes even larger in scope because it basically goes a Lawrence of Arabia type of theme.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. It's like a weird mix of Lawrence of Arabia and Indiana Jones.
All of them are like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but this one is like hardcore Indiana Jones.
It's like the closest thing we get to Indiana Jones in a console right now. And it's gone.
Everybody, Sailor Jerry is gone. We need to have a moment of silence for Sailor Jerry.
Burr, burr, burr.
But Uncharted 3, we both really got into it. The story's really good. It's just a fun story. The places that it takes you, you get to go to a lot of different neat locations. Of course, we're forgetting something. We've gone through 3 of these games and haven't brought up Sully yet.
Sully!
Sully's got to be the greatest mentor character that you could find.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much I trust him, but then at the same time, I trust him wholeheartedly.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I don't. But I do.
I trust him completely.
Well, in the first one, he kind of fucked up.
Yeah, but that wasn't really his fault. He was in a rock and a hard place.
Well, he's still a greedy sumbitch, too.
He is a greedy sumbitch. But so is Nathan.
Yeah.
But Uncharted 3 is a lot of fun. All the controls got a bit more streamlined. Like, any clunkiness by Uncharted 3 was just gone.
Yeah.
Because even Uncharted 2 had a couple of clunky situations with the controls.
But, to be fair, what made Uncharted for me was the multiplayer.
Yes.
You and I played that game
A lot.
almost every day for a good fucking 6-7 months in a row.
Yeah. We've spent a lot of time in that multiplayer. And the multiplayer, because the way they did it, it was a unique style of multiplayer.
Yeah, and when they did the multiplayer, well, we'll get to that in a minute. But the multiplayer, I wish more games would come out with multiplayer like that.
Yes, because that was a really neat thing that they did.
Which, if you haven't played the game, unfortunately, you'll never be able to experience.
Pretty much, because even the PS3 servers are down now.
Yep.
But that's pretty much what we can really go into without giving
Too much away.
Yeah.
Good game! What's your rating?
I give it a 9 because of the multiplayer.
I give it a 9 because of the multiplayer.
And now we're moving right along.
We're moving right along. We drank a little bit.
We're moving right along to the 4th movie in the series.
Game.
Yes, the game. I mean, they're based, it feels like movies.
They-
The 4th game in the series, which was released in 2016. It was the longest wait that we had to wait for one, because the rest of them were all 2 years apart.
All on the PS3.
Yep, all on the PS3. This one we had to wait from 2011 to 2016. 5 years instead of 2 years. Nobody thought it was really coming until 2014 when they teased it at E3.
Yeah. It was worth the wait.
But this one is Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. And it is the final chapter of the Nathan Drake. And it ties everything together really well. It's a really good final chapter for his story, so to speak. You get to meet like his brother, which we don't really find out about until this movie.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert. You also get to see some flashbacks of like when Nathan met Sully.
Yeah.
Which is it's a really neat section of the game.
It's cool. I think that's what they're going to base the movie on if they ever make one.
I don't want to talk about that. I'm not excited with what they're doing. Well, what they've said that they're doing.
Well, I don't know why they don't just cast Chris Pratt and make an actual movie based on the first fucking game.
Or Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, yeah.
They could even use Nolan North.
They won't. He's not a bankable star.
Yeah, but he looks the part.
Chris Pratt would be a bankable movie star and get it launched into superstardom, and Nathan Fillion would be a huge cult favorite that everyone wants to see, and he did that YouTube video not that long ago.
Which was phenomenal.
So good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But the story is a bit different, and the gameplay is a bit different. They turned it into more of an open world exploration type of thing, which was really neat.
It was a cool change up.
It was a huge departure from the way that they did it before, because before it was a very linear game. All the games were extremely linear. And this allowed you to sort of go into certain areas and take things at your own pace. It also added a really neat feature with the rope. You had the rope with the hook on it, and you could throw it and tie it to certain branches and stuff and swing over certain things.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I played it. Not since it came out, actually, so...
Yeah. The downside was, well, they did add a multiplayer function to it.
That wasn't good. I so desperately wanted the multiplayer to be just like it was on 3. Honestly, at that time, I just wanted any multiplayer game to be like 3.
Yeah.
That was my favorite style of multiplayer game up to that point. Like, there hasn't been one like it, and they need to do that. It would have made the game so much better. I probably would have played the game a lot more, because once I got through it, I was like, I'm done with this game.
Pretty much.
I have no drive to even play it again, to be honest.
I've played it again. I played through it 2 or 3 times. I made sure to go back to it just so I could find all the treasures, because I've done that with each of the games.
I have not done that with 2.
I've done it with 1, I've done it with 2, I've done it with 3, and I've done it with 4. So yeah, I've done it with each of the games. I even did it with the side thing that they did that had Chloe as the main character.
Well, I only did all the treasures with the first one and the third one, and that was just because, like I said, the first one, at the time, it was one of the only good games, and the third one was just so good. The multiplayer on the fourth one was so bad.
But the game itself was good.
Yeah. No one's going to deny that.
It was, the fourth game had such a huge scope, though. And it felt like it took a little bit of a departure from the cinematic feel of 1 through 3. And I think that's because it was more of an open exploration game that took the cinematic feel away from it.
Well, the problem is everything's trying to be open world now.
Yeah.
All video games. They try to do it because Grand Theft Auto is like fucking huge ass popularity is
Did
like...
we rate this one yet?
Did we? No, we did not.
I give this one an 8.
I give this one 7.5.
All the games are really good. They all should be played. If you can get them all on PS4 now.
They were free on PS Plus just a few months back.
All of them have been free on PS Plus now.
Yeah.
But if you missed it, then you missed it.
And it's worth it.
But
money, if you don't have it yet, it's worth it to buy it. You'll play it.
The trilogy, the HD remake trilogy, is only $20 if it's not on sale. And if it's on sale, it's usually $10 off. So it's usually $10 if it's on sale. And then Uncharted 4 is also only $20 because it's one of the $20 titles. And a lot of times it's on sale too, so you can get $5 or $10 off. So they're not expensive games, but they're still really, really good quality games. And for the maximum of $40, you can get 4 really, really good games.
Captivatingly good games.
Yep. Outside of that, I don't think there's really anything else to say.
Not without spoiling anything.
That's right. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share.
That regular hooply-da, doody-da.
And we'll see you Monday. Thanks for watching.